Was when I turned 50. I don't know if you did the same, if you were, when you turn these big age birthdays, you start to think about your own mortality and how much time you've got left. That sounds really a bit morbid, but actually it's worth thinking about, because I really wanted to live my life, and I was thinking about, things that had happened to my knees and what my general health was like. And then I started to really get interested in longevity and what I could do for myself, and what the key things were that would help people to live longer and stronger and younger. So I devised, after many months of revision and chatting to older members and doing little surveys and reading all the research, I came up with the longevity tree. And this is developed from, like I say, lots and lots of places and studies and everything. And we looked at 6 leaves of the tree, which are key elements to lifestyle. So you've got sleep there, eat, detox, relax, mingle. I can't remember what that other says. What's that other one say? Oh, move and eat. Yeah. So there's the 6 leaves that really can help give your life a bit more vitality for the rest of your life post-menopausal. Really is more than what we're thinking of. But if you can start this early before your menopause, or if you're a young person and start all of this now, you're going to have a fabulous, healthy, long, strong life. So let's just have a look. So what I did is I asked in my ladies groups, this is we're talking 3 years ago now, and what their biggest worries were for getting older and what they mainly were worried about. So things like losing their mobility, going into a home, losing their continence. And the biggest one that came up, and I'm sure maybe many of us will agree here, was the dreaded Alzheimer's and dementia. Because that was the one thing that really, that was the top of the list. By far, everybody was concerned with this. So again, I related this all to this dreaded disease. And I'm just going to whiz through some of the details on this now. You probably know all of this, but I'll go through it anyway. So Alzheimer's is actually leads to dementia. So it's like a pre-runner to actual dementia. And there's different types of Alzheimer's and dementia. So there's Alzheimer's vascular dementia, dementia with Lewy bodies. They all lead to that one thing, which is your cells in your brain. Actually, well, it says here, it affects 6 in 10 people in the UK, and it builds up these 2 proteins in your brain, and these damage it. So the genetics only play a very small part in getting it. And this is where I've found all this research, is that you think, oh, well, my mom had it, or my dad had it, or my aunties or grandparents had it, so I'm probably going to get it. But actually, that is not the case, which is a really astounding thing that we found out. That it only plays 10% of the chance. So 90%, you've got a 90% chance of not getting it if you work with your own lifestyle. And over the generations, obviously, our lifestyles have changed. And the range of people getting Alzheimer's now is going up in the UK. Obviously, it's 6 in 10 is quite a lot. So they've been looking at the factors that have been helping people to get it. That sounds awful, but it really is. It's actually modern lifestyle is not helping us at all. That's what we're looking at. And I bet you're guessing what they are already. I'm sure you all know. So that was a really astounding one. I love the fact that just because your mum had got it, that you were going to get it. So that's not the case. There's a small proportion of people that can get early onset dementia, and this is to do with their genetic makeup. There's an actual gene now in America. Now they're doing gene testing. It's a new thing, it's really brand new, and they're going into people's bodies and testing all their genes and seeing what they're more prone to in the future. One of them was quite interesting. It's called fatso gene, and this is the gene that will make you feel that makes you fat, which is interesting. They've got the same gene. Someone I think is trying to get in. Let me just see who that message was from. I need an assistant at the no. I'll do it here in a minute. Okay, while there's no current so this is actually taken from one of the studies. There's no current definitive way to prevent dementia. They give you certain drugs, but they're not definitive. They won't stop it. There are several lifestyle changes that may help you to reduce the risk of the condition. And this is profound, and it's going on as we speak in the States. Masses of research on this area, studies being held with hundreds and hundreds of people that have dementia now, and they're finding that they can even reverse it by doing these things. With a good thing, at the bottom here it said, we already know that whatever's good for your heart is also good for your brain. So all these tips that we're going to talk about is good for your heart as well as your brain. So that's a brilliant thing as well. So everything we talk about now is going for that. So we're going to go through each of the different hearts, and I did put in the group a printed sheet you could print out, and then you can tick off the ones that you're already doing. So I've highlighted 5 tips in each of the different hearts. There are more, but I didn't want to overwhelm. I think actually 30 is quite a lot anyway. Some of them overlap as well, because it's all lifestyle is not it's not linear. It's just very fluid, and not every tip won't work for everybody. And you just have to sort of work through the ones that you can do in your life, and then work on some that you probably aren't doing already. So, you know, it's very client specific. It's not going to be one pill, if you like, and then it's all done. So while I just do that, I just need to get Maureen in because I'm nervous that she can't get in. Let me just do this for her. Let me just text. It's not letting her in. I think I need to go and find if she's in. Anyway, let's go on. So we're going to start on the easy one, eating. And your body is food. Food is you. What you put in your body is it's natural to help your body work and function. So so let's look at the analogy of a car. If you had a petrol car and you took it to the fuel station and you put diesel in it, it won't work as well. It might work for a bit and then it will break down. Your body is exactly the same. So if you're going to put rubbish food in the body, it's not going to function as well. It's simple. Now, the ones with the little stars at the side means that they overlap onto something else. So eating is a big one. So vegetables, we've talked at length about vegetables, but there's no denying the fact that vegetables or a plant-based menu can really, really help your system. I love multitasking. It's really good for me, not. Eating in a 12-hour window, we're going to talk at depth in a minute about that. Eating your healthy fats. So we're talking chia seeds with your breakfast or sprinkled. That's a really good way of getting omega-3s in. Having an omega-3 supplement is really good. And this is one of the key things they talk about in every brain book is your omega-3s. So you want to get your nuts, your seeds, your avocados, your olive oil, and you need to eat them. We do not want to have a low-fat diet. Low-fat diet can actually lead to Alzheimer's and dementia. I'll put it out there. One of the recent books I have read, they did actually say that. So let's look at it like that. Do not go and stay on a low-fat diet. It is too 1980s, and 1980s, yes, it may have worked. It may have made you lose weight, but it's not good for your brain. So really important about that. Limited your sugar. Don't even need to talk about that. You know all about that. You did that sugar-free challenge, didn't we? And unprocessed food. So the processed food that you eat usually has lots of sugar and salt and trans fats in them, which the fats that we don't want. So we want those healthier omega-3 fats is why we're after. Now we're going to talk about intermittent fasting because this was a key element in all of the brain books I've talked about, all the longevity books and all of the fitness and health books and the weight loss books. I'm just gonna stop the share so I can just let her in. Where is she? Here we go. There we go. Screen share. So let's have a look at intermittent fasting. Who, put your hand up, who does intermittent fasting now? Who knows about it and who's doing it? Yeah, great, lovely. So what it is eating within a short window of time. Let's just talk about the benefits first. Reduces your body fat, which is always a key, a benefit, isn't it? We don't want that body fat there. It makes us metabolically unfit. So excess body fat, let alone, most of us want to get rid of it because we don't like the look of ourselves in clothes, and that's quite vain and it's quite sort of superficial. But actually, that body fat can wrap around your organs and make you unfit, and therefore metabolically unfit throughout your life, and you're more prone to disease. So already that's brilliant for health and obviously the way we look as well. Insulin sensitivity, so it helps to increase that. So it's when that blood sugar goes up, your insulin goes up as well. But often if that happens a lot because you're eating lots of sugar, it becomes numb and it doesn't work. It's not sensitive enough. So this does help that. It helps protect against diabetes and of course obesity. So how do you do it? There's many different methods, and at the moment lots of people are doing this in lockdown because they've got a little bit more time and they can lie in a little bit longer, so it works an absolute treat. But this is the simplest way. Now they do suggest for women particularly that you only start at 12 hours. If you've never done this before, start with a 12-hour window where you're eating and a 12-hour window where you're not eating, and then start to break yourself gently into where you're not eating for 16 hours maximum. And they do suggest 16 hours is optimal, but again, you've got to find out whether it works for you, because some of the people, this can stress the body and it can have the opposite effect. If you go straight for 16 hours, one day you might go, oh my God, I'm starving, I need to eat, you know, and your insulin levels might be all over disrupted, and then you start to binge eat in the middle bit. So really important that you start slowly and go up gradually. So here's an example. You can eat your dinner at 6 p.m. at night and then eat nothing until 6 a.m. in the next morning. Now, I think personally that's really easy to do. If you're an evening snacker, obviously isn't. But if you can do that, and what you can do is drink some water or unsweetened herbal tea in that time, but no food at all, no drinks, tea or coffee with milk in it at all. And don't have tea and coffee anyway, because that can disrupt your hormone levels. So water or unsweetened herbal tea is great throughout that time. And then this can be extended to those 14 to 16 hours if you want. And then make sure that you're eating healthily in between time, in the remaining hours, whatever they are. Now, within that time, you can have 3 meals, 2 meals, whatever suits you. Again, you need to just find out what works for you, but many people are just having the 2 meals then. So if you go to 16 hours, so 6 o'clock eating, and then so that's 12, 13, 14, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you'll have your brunch, say, at 10 a.m. So you can have a really big brunch then. You could have a good cooked breakfast kind of style thing. And then just don't eat again until 5, 6 o'clock at night again. And that's a good way to do it. I often do this when I'm on holiday, if I'm in a hotel, and I'm not cycling, that is. And, I find it's just too much food. I feel like I'm just eating for the sake of it. So I'll often do this when I'm away. So there's one of the key points for the eating, and really key for the brain. I'm going to move on. We'll talk about that if you want to in the Q&A. Next bit, moving. I've got this covered for you. This is why you're in this group. I'm doing it all for you. You don't need to worry. Just attend every session. So walking, obviously, you can need to do yourself, but walking is fabulous because it strengthens your hips. It strengthens the bones and the hip area. Now, the hip area, you may notice as you move through your life, is stiffer. It starts to stiffen up more. It's to do with the fascia. It's to do with the complex muscles around that area, and also to do with your estrogen dropping. So you will feel stiffer through that area. So walking keeps that going. And also we want to keep strong in that area, because one of the biggest things for people to have to go into a home is that they can't get on and off the loo. So that's why I'm always doing those stand up and sit down off a chair, because I want you to continue with that movement so you can get off and on the loo, and and stay at home as long as you can. The other things are all covered. I have you covered, and we've talked about it before. It's to do with your human growth hormone, which drops away after the age of menopause. And so we need to keep strong, we need to strengthen, and that's where Pilates comes in perfectly. If you're doing my reformer, you step it up even a bigger level with that. Breathing, I class breathing as an exercise, because you're exercising your diaphragm, but also what you're exercising here is you're moving your nervous system into the right element area, which it doubles up this one onto the relax bit, which we're going to come on to now. So relaxing is another key one. And I would say probably I should have put this at the top, because in the modern lifestyle, we don't relax enough. It's all go, go, go. We've got this goal to go for. We've got that goal. We must do this. And if we exercise, we must go 110%. I think the penny is starting to drop a little bit now. People are looking more about the calmness of their life and the quiet times and the stillness. But still, I think there's a lot of work to do. So what is your mindset around relaxing? Does it give you the feeling of guilt? I find that a lot in women. Oh, I can't sit down. Why? I couldn't sit down and watch The Crown this afternoon, even though I've got loads of time and I'm at home anyway, because, oh my God, why would I do that? What was it? Who's put that thought in your mind that you can't do it? Have a think. So here's some things. Take time to be still. So when we do the meditation, this is where I'm going with this one. Again, I've got you covered here. If you do the Friday Pilates, we always do that relaxed bit at the end anyway. Learn to breathe slowly. We're always doing breath work in the Pilates. Practice the muscle release exercises. So this is stretching and releasing. And these things obviously have gone away a little bit at the moment. Laughing, playing, learning. They're all brilliant ways to relax the mind. It's like a diversion type. When you had kids and they were kicking off over something and you just diverted their attention onto something. Basically, it's the same for us. We need to get our minds off that worry, and divert onto something else. And things like learning or playing or laughing can help with that. And look after yourself. What are the things that you do for you? I did my own manicure the other day. What is it? Do you like lying in the bath, having a nice relaxing time with some candles round? Do you want to give yourself a little facial? Do you like, put your makeup on? I don't know. What is it that helps you to feel relaxed? But also the thought of it. So I have this theory about holidays. And holidays obviously are great for the obvious reasons. But one of the biggest reasons they're good is it's something to look forward to. And the thought of it helps you relax on the run up to it. Now, I know that's probably not a very nice analogy at the moment, because none of us have any holidays booked. But, let's think about something else we could use instead. I haven't thought that through. But also, when people are on holiday themselves, they're on holiday, you don't feel guilty for not doing anything. Everybody's lying around the pool, everybody's on the beach, just spending their time lying flat all the time, and nobody feels guilty. Why is that? Because we've been led to believe, again, it's a mindset, it's a belief system deep inside that says it's okay, you're on holiday, you can now relax, but when you get home, you've got to go 110 miles an hour, because that's how we do it, and that's our beliefs. So just challenge that. I think that's quite a good one to do. Next one, I've just put some ideas here on things that you could probably do, but finding that old hobby is always nice. What were the things that you really enjoyed when you were a little girl? And what did you want to do? What did you enjoy? What did you look forward to doing? Was it something creative? We played around when we were kids. Why can't we now? Who says we can't? It's society, it's our beliefs, isn't it? It's the beliefs of someone else saying, well, you don't do that, you're too old. Well, no, if you can do it, why not do it? There's a whole new realm, that's a whole new talk, that is beliefs. All right, the next bit is detoxing, and this is to detox in many different ways. So we're talking detoxing the body physically, but also the mind, which we just talked about quite a lot. But again, they overlap. So that 12-hour eating window is a type of detox, because you're giving your digestive system a complete rest when you don't eat anything for those many hours. So when you do that, it really helps the system to calm down. When you eat something, your nervous system changes and you go into the fight and flight because it's working, not at a high level, but it will be there. So when you don't eat, it will just calm it down. And again, if you put rubbish food in your body, it stresses out the body and it detoxifies it. So let's unprocess it, get rid of all of those things that are in a packet and start eating from single ingredient foods. Sleep. Now, this was a big one in many, many books about dementia and Alzheimer's that I've read, and how to sleep. Sleep is so important for restorativeness of your body and to detox the brain. Now, there's a little fact of interest. If you lie on your left side in bed, the amyloids, it's like all the rubbish in your brain that you've collected throughout the day, and this is actual physical stuff, amyloids they are called, and they actually drain away if you lie on your left side. I mean, obviously lie on your right side also, but I was really interested. I do like to lie on my left side more anyway, but I thought was quite a good fact, and that was in many studies actually talking about that. So it's like a rubbish, it's like the garbage collectors, they call it. I'm saying garbage because it's from America and I read all this American stuff. So the rubbish collectors, the dustbin men, come out in the night and they cleans your brain basically. But if you don't get that good sleep, that won't happen. So you might feel that when you wake up in the morning, you've got that brain fog and you're like, I've not slept, I don't feel right, I don't feel optimal. So sleep is important. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Detox and digital detox. So are you watching your screen quite a lot up to night time, and what's happening there? We're going to talk about that a bit more. And drinking the water. Isn't it? It's the most simplest thing, drinking water. And I did do a talk all about it the other week, because it's just one of those things. It's in the tap. There it is. Drink it. And your body needs it, every single cell, and your brain is a big percentage of it. I think it's something like 70 or 80% is water, and it wants to be hydrated. And if it isn't hydrated, you may feel tired, lethargic, fatigued. So we don't want that either. So next one is mingle. Now this one's I'm quite sad about, because lockdown has really stopped this. Now, in a study which I couldn't find yesterday, I was looking everywhere online for it. I've got it written down somewhere, and it's in piles in this office somewhere. I couldn't quite find it, but a few years ago read this study about centenaries. So people that were 100, they did a big study on them in America, and they asked them questions on what they did in their life and why they lived so well and young and fit and healthy. And I thought the first one would be not eating sugar or rubbish, or not smoking, or not drinking alcohol. But no, number one was the human connection. The human connection, being with other people, having conversations with other people face to face, laughing, playing, dining together, enjoying, sharing, all of those things was the number one thing. And this is why I feel quite sad through lockdown, because I know this is so important. I know it's important to me, but this study obviously proved that. So yeah. So how can we do this? So we're doing it now. We're doing it everyone's using Zoom instead, aren't they, for this? But what can you do to help mingle and move around different circles of people? Because people are interesting, aren't they? I find them fascinating people, and I love to have just a real variety of different opinions and ways that you can discuss things at a deeper level. That kind of thing really helps me, I know. Um, but obviously we're adapting at the moment. We're adapting, but you can be 2 meters apart with your friend. So there is a rule. You can go out with your friends. So my friend and I get together every Wednesday. Last Wednesday we got together and we walked in the up here near my house, and we took a picnic, and we sat 2 meters apart and at this picnic, freezing cold, and it nearly rained, but we didn't care because we laughed and we moaned and we had a bitch, and it was brilliant. I love it. So find a friend that you can do that with and go somewhere for a walk, because you can actually do that. I think it's important. I'm sure they've allowed us to do that because they know we need to download. Definitely women particularly, if they have a good bitch and moan, they probably don't mean any of it, but they just feel better afterwards. So go and find someone to do that with. This week it's going to rain, so we're going to go to Home Bargains, because you're allowed to go to Home Bargains, so we're going there. I mean, isn't that ridiculous? Don't even go there. Don't start me on that one. But anyway, Home Bargains is open, so that's where we're going. So find it, because also that will give you something to look forward to. You feel better for that. It gives you a routine and a purpose. Hopefully this, you see, this one, when lockdown started in March, this was the biggest one for me. I knew all this stuff, and I wanted to give myself and you a purpose and a routine to your day. So I felt that was so important. Get up in the morning, 10 o'clock, here we go. You know, it gives you something to think, oh, I've got that today. I'm going to do that today. And after this, hopefully I give you some motivation, inspiration to move through your day in a better way. These are so important. Giving. So volunteering, helping others can give you a sense of absolute joy and really nice feeling. And if you're a mother, this is in being a mother, it's innate in a woman particularly to give to other people. To caring role can give you something so much back. So if you do I did actually start some volunteering a couple of years ago, and I love it for that. And love, I know that sounds a bit slushy, but just bearing your love from your soul and heart can again be really great for your health. It builds your immunity, it can strengthen all of the things to stop you having diseases, basically. So although this in itself is one of the most important, really, we just need to adapt to it. Let's look also at some loneliness stats. I did look at this. So according to the stats, women reported feeling more frequently lonely than men. And human connection is vital for the survival of a human. It just is. And if you look back from cavemen times, they always did collect within a group of people, you know, and the families grew from there. And if you think of the villages that they built, and it's just from that. So social connection can lower anxiety, depression, helps us regulate our blood pressure even, and the inflammation in your body. So crucial. Big one, sleep. We've done a whole month on sleep, so you know these rules already. Again, they cross over from the others. So digital detox, making sure that you're not watching telly all the way, and then you go to sleep. So have something in between. Go and have a nighttime routine where you go and take your makeup off. I don't know, whatever you do. This is what I do. Go and make sure I take my makeup off. I put some body lotion on. I go in bed. I read a book just for a few minutes. I put some sleep spray on the pillow, you know, all that kind of thing. And these again, relax, so stretching your body just before as well. Maybe just do some baby pose or rocking forward and back like we do in the Pilates. That can really help to release tension from the body. If you're tense in your mind, you're often tense in your body. It works together, as I keep banging on about. Reframe your perception of sleep. We talked about that length, and that magnesium spray is a winner. If you're really struggling, try some magnesium spray or cream. It can really help. So that's your leaves of the tree all done and dusted. So you may have ticked off the ones that you are doing now, and really what we need to look at is that don't worry that you're not doing them all.